Mr. Hernandez, welcome to the Valder Beebe Show. How are you?
Thank you so much for having me. I'm well. How are you?
I am having a great day. I want my audience to know I'll be speaking to Tricia Hernandez. She's going to be telling us that September is Blood Cancer Awareness Month. Tricia, thank you for joining me today. Tell me about what the LLS is doing that's so important, this work for blood cancer patients.
LLS is really here for blood cancer patients from the date of diagnosis throughout their lifetime. I wasn't sure when I was diagnosed 22 years ago with lymphoma where to go for information. I went to the internet, and that proved to be overwhelming and kind of scary. And what I'm grateful for with LLS is they have education, information, resources from experts that help patients and caregivers really understand their disease and treatment options and look at what to do after that first day of diagnosis and what to expect moving forward. And then even beyond that, LLS provides support and connection, whether it be peer support or through support groups or our online community and other resources to really help patients not feel so alone after they're diagnosed with blood cancer.
I want my audience to know, I'm sorry I forgot to tell you that Tricia Hernandez, she's the Director of Community Engagement at LLS and Hodgkin's lymphoma, and she told us she is a survivor. I'm so glad that you're here to talk about this. You're one of those people I call that walk the walk. You're not theorizing on what it is to live with something. You've lived with it. So thank you so very much for that. Tell me some of the most common challenges people experience when they're faced with a blood cancer diagnosis. I can't imagine that at this point in my life. That hasn't happened to me. But I know how it is when the doctor says you have.
Yes, I think, like me, I was very scared. I didn't know what it meant. And I think for many people, the diagnosis is unexpected, and so they don't know what to do, and they're not sure how it's going to impact their life. So I think the first challenge is really managing some of that fear by getting well informed about your diagnosis and treatment options. And LLS has resources and booklets and information specialists that can help with that. But beyond that, it's what happens next. What should I expect moving beyond the diagnosis into treatment and survivorship? And then after that, it's more practical challenges. How am I financially going to manage this? Do I have insurance coverage to pay for my care? And if I don't, what happens with that? And how can I get it covered? And how can I get financial assistance like LLS has? And then it's other life impact, whether it's mental health on increasing your stress level or anxiety or depression and how to get help with that, which often happens for cancer patients after diagnosis. And what does this mean for the rest of my life? Am I going to have long-term effects from my treatment? If I have a chronic blood cancer, how am I going to manage that for the rest of my life in and out of treatment? And what about screening later, and what do I need to look out for, and do I need to worry about other cancers? All of this are concerns that patients have once they settle into managing their disease and going through their treatment. And LLS has resources and support services for all of those aspects of survivorship.
Tricia Hernandez, I need to ask you a question, and it's off script, and it's not political, but it is. When you hear candidates saying that they're going to reduce or remove the Affordable Care Act, that falls into getting care that you're talking about. How do you feel?
I think it's very important that a blood cancer patient, once they hear the words "you have cancer," have a way to manage that care and get that treatment no matter who they are, no matter where they are. And LLS works very hard through our advocacy efforts and through our support resources to make sure every single blood cancer patient has the support and care and financial assistance they need. There's never enough to cover everybody, but we really do work hard to make sure that we have equitable access to care for all patients. It's really important that patients do not have to decide between feeding themselves or their family and their blood cancer treatment, or have a way to get to their treatment via transportation. So LLS has financial assistance that helps patients with all of this.
In a long-term picture, you say you've been a long-term survivor. Tell us, how does that support work when you're long-term?
LLS has really expanded its resources for survivors from the date of diagnosis throughout their lifetime. The great news about effective blood cancer treatments that LLS has supported through their research is we have more blood cancer survivors than ever, and they are living decades and decades in survivorship. But there are many things that they may feel impacted, either long-term and late effects from their treatment or mental health effects from going through a cancer diagnosis and treatment, and all of the other aspects of survivorship care, whether it be additional screenings or health care or integrative care, supportive care, palliative care, to have the best quality of life in survivorship. And LLS has expanded its survivorship resources to make sure that patients have everything from an interactive survivorship workbook that they can fill out and share with their healthcare team and friends and family on what they've gone through and what additional care they might need through their lifetime. Through education programming or peer support or online communities like LLS Community. We have places that people can go no matter whether they're day 1 or day 1,000 following a blood cancer diagnosis to feel supported throughout survivorship.
That's great news. As I wrap up, I'd like to know, how can my listeners find out more information and be connected to LLS?
Yes, they can call an information specialist at 1-800-955-4572 or visit lls.org for all the resources I've described and more.
All right, Tricia Hernandez, you 22-year survivor of Hodgkin's lymphoma. Congratulations on that and all the work that you do. You give hope to others. Thanks for being my guest on the Valder Beebe Show.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Hi, I'm Valder Beebe, host of The Valder Beebe Show. We have over 1,000 videos on ValderBeebeShow.com and YouTube.com/Valder Beebe Show. We upload new videos daily. Our site is a modern baby boomer platform with news and information important to boomers. Subscribe to YouTube.com/Valder Beebe Show and stay connected as I interview the world's most fascinating people.